What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to KlvtDefi. This is the channel, really, where we bring you the latest and greatest innovations in tech in decentralized finance, quite specifically on post-chain, but even more specifically, really, in the Dev Jacob ecosystem. Tonight, we are going to be talking about Pulse Mafia. Yes, it is the protocol which really, it's from strength to strength every single day, not just with the tech itself, but with you guys. I speak to you guys all the time. I know exactly what you guys are up to, and you are absolutely on fire, really on fire. Land is continuously disappearing, actually. We'll get to some of that, but there is not a lot left, right? So if you are new here, really, like, subscribe, all the rest of that good stuff. Jump into the Telegrams. We'll be talking about that in a few minutes too, right? If it's a thing that that you don't know anything about Mafia at all, this is where you need to be. Go and have a look at some old videos. And my special guest who I have on tonight covers Mafia all the time. So you have to be liking and subscribing to his stuff too. Without any further ado, I will bring the man up right now. How are you doing, Scarface, Superman,
good.
the Consigliere?
It's great to be here and representing the Directorate, really the most powerful, most feared family on virtually every metric, people are really getting afraid of us, and for good reason. It might just keep them alive if they do stay afraid, because we've got a kill squad out there, and I just want a big shout out just before we get into things. A few of our members in our kill squad. Big shout out to Frank out there. Big shout out to Jim. A big shout out to Johnny, and of course Sam. A big shout out to you. They're just some of the members in our kill squad, and we have a lot of guys in our kill squad with those names. So big shout out to that team.
That's great. Hey, that sounds good. I'm actually really loving it. I mean, I think from day one, as soon as Mafia sort of came around, and as soon as you could actually, I even think it was really before families. We knew the families were going to be part of the game, but I think before we were allowed to do families, you guys were already, a bunch of your team were already talking about, okay, like when this starts, let's hit the ground running, and it seemed that you haven't stopped running since.
No, we think that we're several steps ahead of all the other families, and so far so good. So far, everything that's played out that other families are doing, we predicted. We've already strategized for that. We've already got our own main strategy that we're running, and everything's going pretty, hang-dory. The only wild card in the game is the Godfather. That's the only wild card, one. And we're technically at war with the Godfather as well. So it's all going good in the Mafia world.
I like it. I really like what you guys have actually done. From the organizational side, it really sounds like you've got everything strapped down. You know what I mean? You've got your hierarchy. Everyone knows their job, and everyone's doing their job. I've seen that come along. I've also seen with some of the newer families, they tend really. I mean, how do you really learn this game, right? You look for an example of who's already doing it, and it seems that people are looking at your series of families, right? Because you've got what? You've got the Syndicate, the Yakuza, the Illuminati. Is that still? Yeah, the Illuminati and the Hustlers.
And the Hustlers, that's right. Big shout out to Lick Gaines out there. Lick Gaines, of course, started the Hustlers.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, and so what was the whole idea then about having these multiple families under one allegiance? Because they were all started before the allegiances come around.
Well, I think for the obvious reason is that you got to have a certain amount of. If you're going to be a big family, first of all, you got to decide, are you going to be a big player? And of course, we decided we want to be a big player. And secondly, you need several families. There's 5 vault spots, so you need a few families for those. Now you can decide just to focus on one family. That's a objective you can do, or you can go for multiple families. Of course, the bigger your goals are, the more competent you have to be able to execute those goals, right? So we felt like we've got some of the smartest people, not just in the Mafia game, but on the planet in our Mafia family. And so, we backed ourselves, and so far it's going very good.
Good. I was talking to a member of your family. I won't really say who it was, but they were telling me actually today. They were telling me that you guys have some strategy calls or calls just amongst your family that can go on for hours. I think this game is starting to become this massive beast. And I mean, I like to say a lot that playing this game, technically, it can become a full-time job for people in the future, right? I mean, you hold the same sentiment, I guess?
100%, yeah, 100%. We're loving it. Hey, look, we're not just a close family either. I think that's important. We're an open family. We openly recruit, and a big shout out to Max Payne, who's our capitacina in our leadership team of the family, doing absolutely incredible job out there, and a hugely knowledgeable player. One of the easily maybe top 3 knowledgeable players in the whole of Mafia. Just absolutely stellar, and yeah, big shout out to him. And of course, our Don of Dons, Archie, just crushing it. Archie is our super genius. It's our Dr. Evil. He is awesome, and it's all good, all guns for us. So
good. All right. So if someone wants to get in touch with you guys, or if anyone's actually watching out there and you're thinking, okay, I've been looking for a family, I don't really know what to do. How do they find the Directorate?
Well, they can go to mafia-hq.com and they can go to the families and they can find the Mafia there on Telegram. Where we've got a recruitment page, so they can join up to that. They can also do it through the official Mafia under the families. There's our link to the Telegram there.
Banner up there, yeah.
That will take us through to the recruitment page. We do have a process, but everyone's welcome. Everyone's welcome. There's no fee to join anymore. We used to have one at the beginning for strategic purposes, and but now everyone can join. All you have to do is set up a player, which you're going to get into, I guess. How to join Mafia game, and then choose a family to play. Yeah.
Nice. Hey, that doesn't sound too complicated at all. Very good. No. Very good. Do you have people that contact you more? I mean, I'm sure this is probably a question from Max actually.
No.
If you guys have,
I can answer this question.
Yeah, I'm saying so. Do you have people trying to contact you really through the telegrams, or is it because of the video content that's out, or is it because of the X posts that are out? Or
we use all our social media to channel through the Telegram recruitment page. And we have a team that looks after that, which is led by Max and his awesome bunch of people that do that.
Cool. How many different sort of divisions or organizations within the organizations do you have then? Is it family specific, or is it like the Directorate just covers everything and then you just funnel people around where you think you need?
No, we have the 4 families. And people will be in different families. We used to have the Directorate, which is the Allegiance, which covers all those 4 families. All those 4 families are in that Allegiance or Alliance, depending on how you want to talk about it. And that's what we have. We also have a lot of people contact us that want protection, and it's not protection from other families; it's protection from us. So we make arrangements. It's just part of our strategy. And so if you're out there, you're afraid of the Directorate, and you should be. Come and knock on our door. We make arrangements. We make arrangements. That's how the world of Mafia works. So
I like that. And I never thought of that really before, because I knew in the beginning, there was protection money, that was being spoken about. But so you actually have players that approach you guys and say, look, I want to protect my stuff here, let's make a deal, so you sort of leave me alone.
Yeah, all the time they come through, and we'll offer them an arrangement if they're so kind, and we'll give them a certain amount of protection. We are a family of honor, so we honor our deals. There are families out there that have made deals that don't honor their deals, and so people will respond to those families accordingly, right? In successful Mafia families, there is an honor code. Those families tend to be strong. Those families that break honor codes, well, they tend to fall apart over time, don't they? They slowly get picked off one by one. It's a death trap out there for them.
I like this. I like.
Can I just wait one comment? That's probably the key takeaway. If anyone's watching the show, we love Mafia game. I hope you guys will join it too. Because it really is a lot of fun. It's incrementally getting bigger and bigger by the day, and KlvtDefi is playing a huge role in leading that. But the reality is there is only one Mafia allegiance or family group out there that's capable of a full-scale war. Only one, and it's us. The Directorate's the only one. And so just be careful who you align with, right? And who you try to try to tick off, because really we are the only family capable of a full-scale war. And we're preparing for that. So just if you mess around, you'll see what happens. That's all I'm going to
say. Nice. I think with that, let's jump into the chat here. I can see people are already in it. So we've got you, the Director, making fear real. Bang bang. I like that. We have Archie. So Archie is the Don Capone. Actually, some people might point out that video that I played at the start that wasn't actually made by Archie, right? It is a little outdated just because it actually does say that map is coming, but I love that video, so I'm going to continue to play it. Okay, so you can't say anything about it, guys. We got Big Kahuna in the house. Big Kahuna has been here a few times. Thanks very much for stopping in again. We have Crypto Furio, the scrapyard master. He's here again. Ciao, mobsters.
Big shout out to
is here.
Doing great job. Yeah. Great job, Fury. Yeah, Zanon as well. Man, we've got a bunch of A-listers in the chat.
Yeah, we got Ciao, Directorate Familia. The Directorate rolling mob deep. I love that. I love that. Yeah, there's some good stuff here. Good stuff. Killer Frank. You were just talking about Frank earlier. Here we go. Right now, Furio is absolutely. I mean, obviously he's in your family too, but he's completely green. You guys are light years ahead. Yeah. And then we have the real OGs are the Directors. But I did see actually that. Okay, I think that's probably going to be the title of the next post. I think coming up in the next couple of days. And he says, "Don't give away all the alpha." No, I think you're pretty well suited to keep keeping your cards close to your chest. And there you go. So this is Pulsation Nation. So this is Bob. This is Bob Tiller the Hun. From the OGs. And he says, you can't say Archie is not organized. I'll give him that. Tip the hat. There you go. Cheers for that. Ben Miller from over your side says, "Hi Superman, thanks for covering Mafia, the best blockchain game. It is the best blockchain game." Yeah. I was talking to someone about this, someone who doesn't really know anything about us, and I was explaining, like, this is a full game that's on blockchain. And it's on Pulse Chain, right? Yeah. I was talking about Pulse Chain specific to them. And the fact that this is like a full game, everything, it's a complete full game, and it's working, and it's generating lots of money, for really, ultimately, for the players and the families, right? I mean, one thing, actually, from your point of view, because you show charts quite a lot, and you show the Mafia charts and things like that, for newer players, maybe they want to try and get an entry in. And some people look at the charts and they say, "Oh, there's not really a lot of traffic going on," But one thing which they have to understand. So if you're watching this, and if you are the person I was talking to and you're watching this, then listen up. There's not a lot of activity on the chart when it comes to actually buying Mafia, right? Because that's just your entrance into the game. Once you're in the game, I mean, go and have a look at how much money's been generated on the marketplace, right? It's hundreds of thousands, right? Look how much money has been put into the vaults, right? That's 500,000. So already that's 800,000. Oh, actually, and I haven't included the marketplace on BNB. We'll have to have a look at that. I don't even know what that figure is. So we could probably say that, there's probably like $900,000 that has been circling around internally in the game. Oh, and obviously not including the price of the land, all the sales of the land tiles too, right? For all those keys. So if we look at all that, imagine if that 900,000 was thrown into the chart, right? You know what I mean? Or if it was in the chart all along, Mafia token would absolutely be flying along. But it's not about that. It's like Kool-Aid said. Kool-Aid said that the internal tokenomics, the internal mechanics of the game, will easily surpass the Mafia token itself, and it's very quickly starting to look that way.
Well, Crypto Fury's got a comment there if you want to highlight that, because I think that's really important too.
Which one is that? Gone through a few of these.
The last one there, the amount on-chain transactions. The last one there, because
here we go. Yeah,
that's a really big tout. It's actually huge for Pulse Chain, because there's a lot of transactions going through. And that's part of the magic that Jacob's doing, right? Is he's trying to do the frontier of blockchain games, peer-to-peer, and all that sort of stuff. And it's happening organically and incrementally, as I said earlier. And the thing is, we just want to just continue to build that, this perfect combination between playing to win and of course earning crypto. That combination is really, really cool. And of course, we get a 3x in Pulse Chain. We're over $1 million, right? So. $1.5 million if you include BNB runs too. So the game's just going to get bigger and bigger, and people want to play. You actually want to play. Like, we've got this really good culture where everyone wants to play. They want to do well in the game. Whether it's building or whatever else. It's really, really cool. There's lots of activities we're doing at the moment behind the scenes. So it's really fun.
Yeah, no, I'll absolutely agree with that and second that. I mean, this is really starting to run now. And like you say, I remember when we had I think it was maybe the first Dons meeting, and I remember this Gifford, where we were speculating on where the vault would be at the time of game launch, and Gifford where we're saying anywhere 15 to 20 million, sorry, 20 billion pulse. The way things are going, I think that's more than achievable. I think we're getting there now, and just like you say, imagine if Pulse does a 3, 4, 5, even 10x at some stage. The amount of, I'll try to explain to people the amount of money that they can be made in this game while having fun, while building relationships with friends, enemies, all the rest of it. It's very real. Like, this is the opportunity that we have at our fingertips here with this game, and what it can do not only for individuals, not only for families, not even only for blockchains. Like, this is absolutely huge. And we have it here in early access. I mean, we couldn't be in at a better time. We couldn't be asking for a better thing.
No, I think the vault's really powerful, like in terms of people being attracted to that. But I think once they get into the actual game, and just as it's evolving with Jacob's, different steps as he's building out the game for launch, people start getting into it and go, "Oh wow, this is really, really is a cool game," and I got to get into it. And I got to do this and that and this and that. And yeah, we see that fever all over the place. So it's really exciting. And I think we can kind of see that in the Telegram, both the official ones and our own family ones. So yeah, it's really exciting what's happening.
Yeah. So what do you think then, right? You just mentioned Telegram because, we know that most of the game is played, obviously, not on the DApp, right? But when the communications tab and stuff comes out, everyone's going to every player's kind of going to have their own email messaging service or whatever. Do you think we'll start to see a shift from Telegram, or do you think like Telegram and stuff is where it's at?
No, I think both of them are going to operate very well. What I think we're going to see a lot of peer-to-peer dealing going on with the chats. So it's much easier to probably communicate that way. But I think most of the public discourse will still stay on the main Telegram channel. So it's kind of where I feel it's going to go. So I think we're going to have a boom in both of them. Yeah, because a lot of deal making, and that can be, kill squads can coordinate on the communications, and the main Telegram group is where people can, declare war and all sorts of other stuff, crazy stuff like that. But whatever.
Yeah,
I'm hunting you down, but you stole my car or something, and I'm going to hunt you down for that. Whatever. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I think we'll see a lot of that when it comes to things like the slot machines and the roulette, right? The fact that, is a big player might just come in, and if the existing owner doesn't have the big bags to hold it, they can just take it.
I would love to talk about the different steps coming up because there's lots to talk about there. And so I'd love to hear your opinion on that as well.
Yeah, we can. I'll open up the wiki here and we can jump into it. Did I just share this? Yes. Okay. Yeah. So we saw actually that we had a bit of a change when map was coming around. We got some new steps, right?
Yeah.
So we got obviously the map that still needs to be ticked green there, Jacob, if you're listening. And then we had the marketing DAO, right? Have you been following what the marketing DAO was about?
Yes, I'm aware of some information around that. Yep.
Yeah. I think putting one thing that Jacob has, constantly been doing with this game, and he said it very early on, right? He said that it will be the players who really track the path of this game, how it evolves in the future. And I think having this marketing DAO, where percentage of everything that comes through, a percentage of all the taxes that gets created goes into this DAO, and then when this is actually going to be up and running, so a percentage of that is just going to be voted for, and people vote again with their Mafia tokens. Something. And I know we've spoke about this quite a few times, not just in relation to Mafia, but even other Jacob projects. Jacob loves staking the tokens away, doesn't he? He loves it. He absolutely, he really believes that staking things away in a project that has kind of has real utility just drives performance, and I think we're going to see a hell of a lot of that now with this DAO. Tell us what do you think about the DAO and how it's going to be working?
I think it's fundamental for the game, and I think it was a good move. I think that having some of the funds that go into the game go into this DAO, very, very important for the sustainability of the whole game ecosystem. Number two, I would say that we want to find the most effective marketing. So in many ways, we're going to become marketers, and we want to get the most effective marketing, best bang for your buck, right? So I think that's going to be a nice evolution as well. Yeah, so I think it's pretty cool. Whether that's social platforms or influencers with high engagement, whatever it's going to end up being, it's probably going to be money well spent. And hey, look, I would like to see us cross over into the gaming world to bring gamers in similar games, not just generic gaming, because there's lots of varieties, but give it similar games. People that like playing Red Alert or something, something that's kind of similar. There is an existing Mafia game out there at the moment, which this is a 10x upgrade from that. There's lots of different communities we can tap into that could bring a lot of players and so they can have fun with us. So
I like that. I like that too. I like that. I really like the fact that it comes back to the community. What avenue or what direction does the community want to bring it, right? Because again, that just opens up all the sociify aspect of it, right? We generally will all be talking about it. We'll probably be talking about it again in the telegrams and all that sort of stuff, even before people actually start doing the voting. I really like the fact that there's going to be multiple options. And some options might carry over into the next time, depending if the voting is close enough. So, okay, well, we'll pick one for this time and then one for the next time. I really, really like that. I really, really like it. And I think with that, again, something to do with the Mafia token, more utility for the Mafia token, therefore more utility for the protocol. I love it.
Yeah, and I think we need to, things that have emotional attachment are very important in marketing. I think things that have call to actions, so we have very direct route to the game. The marketing of the game, very simplified way of joining the family. A couple of steps. This is all you have to do. Those quick, easy steps for onboarding. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Ease of access, all that good stuff.
Yeah, big time. And so after that, then, after the marketing DAO, we're going to have pre-ranking. Right. What do you think about that? Right, because everyone starts in the game at a 0, and then.
Well, what do you know about pre-ranking? Let's start off with that.
Well, I mean, it was ultimately for me, right? I think pre-ranking is obviously anyone's worth that they currently have right now. Obviously, that's going to be all added to it. But what I mean, because I don't know, are there actually going to be things to do which you can rank up straight away? Because obviously you can't do heists, right? You won't be able to do heists, which again add to your value. You won't be able to do anything like that. So will it be you're just automatically just given your number? Will it be you can practice doing different sort of heists? Because we're going to have this kill simulator coming, right, at a later stage. So is it going to be go and fake rob this bank, like do the simulation of how to rob this bank, so we can show you how to rank up your character?
Yeah.
Is that how you think it's going to work?
Well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out, aren't we? I think that's probably one of the more mysterious stages. Yeah, I'll just leave it there.
Yeah, it is, because a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on that. I remember even before the kill simulator.
It's going to be a very important stage. Let's be frank about it, and let's not bob around. That's
yeah, and then after that, right? So we have open for business.
Now, this is a very exciting stage. Exciting stage. What are your thoughts on this? And I'll give you my opinion after that.
Well, I think when open for business, right? I mean, I said this on stream the other day. I think ever since the map came out, it's kind of like the game has kind of started already.
Yeah.
People are actually already earning, right? People have chosen their map items, they're already earning. So I think when it comes to open for business, again, the big questions will be, will you be able to set up your smuggling routes with other families, for example? Would you be able to do that as part of this open for business stage, or is it literally just going to be the bullet factories and the car crushers are in play? Obviously, I don't think you'll be able to steal cars at this early stage, right? So therefore, you won't be able to sell them to the car crushers.
Well, it is there on there. It says if you're a business owner, right?
Yeah, it says keep an eye out for launch phase.
Assuming that is accurate, right? Then it does appear to be the 111 businesses or whatever there is out there. So I think that's pretty fascinating, because what does that mean then for the crates and in-game assets opening, right? Because if you've got a gun store, then you can't really sell guns through key crates, right? So now it has to go to that's a transfer of opportunity and wealth from the game into the vault into the business operator, right? And that means that you've got economic activity now, instead of just being centralized in the crate for the game platform. You've now got it within the map itself in play. So I think that's a pretty exciting thing. Now we know that those businesses have management; they can manage their business. What does that look like for each different type of business? What are the parameters for that? We also have the fact that you can enter the store, right? So what does it look like when you enter the store? Is there some sort of visual? What are the toggles that are, what different options do you have when you're in there? What does it look like from the storefront for the person going in there? And what guns are available? Are there going to be more guns than what we have at the moment, for example, in a gun store? What is going to be in there? Does it have bullets in there, or is it only bullets from the car crashes, or the bullet store itself? Which is probably the case. What is it like for the owner, right? Going to roulettes. What's it like for the parameters are there? Because obviously, is there much? What protection does the owner have versus people trying to, crash the roulette, for example, with winning an extreme bet? All these different things. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see what that is like. And of course, we already know for the land at the moment that we've got this big management tab coming, right, which is going to show all your developments and stuff like that. So it's going to be fun to see the interactions between Open for Business and the Mafia management tab as well. So it's some cool stuff coming down the line. I love it. Gaming is this is where the real gaming begins, right? This sort of stuff.
Yeah, this is really where all the interaction between players really in the metaverse starts, right?
Yeah. Well, how big will the economy be too from these businesses, right? Which business will be more successful? Which will have boom and busts? Because of what activities going on in the game. So what will the price be of the businesses? Who will price businesses? Will they get up to $10,000-$20,000 for a business because it's so lucrative? I mean, will that mean a bigger target on the back of the owner? There's lots of cool things to this game. Exciting.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember who it was who I was speculating about it with, but we were talking about the price of the business objects that were sold on the marketplace a couple of months ago.
Was it the most expensive one? One did go for an extremely high price during early trading. That was
I think one was 4,000 or 5,000. Yeah, that was that one. And
no, right, might have been 5 actually. Yeah,
and it was probably a bullet factory. Right, because that's kind of the most, most prized thing in the game. That's a good, a thing to speculate on as well, right?
Well, how many bullets at the moment, right? So I don't know whether the worth is going to change as the game changes, or because you got land now and everything else and developments on land. So it's
and I mean when the bullet factory starts spitting out bullets, it'll be interesting to see how many they spit out, because they spit out a certain number every 24 hours, but we don't know the figure yet.
That's right, and of course capos are getting bullets right every week. Depending on how big their team is, all that sort of stuff. So I mean, this is all ceteris paribus. What happens if there's some rebalancing? We know Kool-Aid likes the rebalancing. As players, we're not so keen, but these game developers, they like their rebalancing. But for us, it's kind of like sometimes it's the enemy, right? It's the enemy. It's like, what the heck? Sometimes it seems reasonable, and other times it's like, what?
Jacob likes to throw a spanner in the works every now and again.
Moving the goalposts.
Keep things fresh.
Now, thinking of Jacob, they're back now, aren't they? On the
5th. Team are back since yesterday, doing their bit. They're already. I mean, I know for a fact that there was a long list of things. People are sending Jacob messages all the time while he's been away, and he's got this checklist to go through. But it sounds like mostly everything on B&B is correct. I know there was a couple of bugs with Bogota, the city, specifically Bogota, some issue with the, I think, with the animation of opening the land tiles. But I think it's just a few small things like that, right? Because generally
the big ticket items are unstaking from family bank vaults or whatever, and the second one is unstaking from land tiles that have been upgraded. So that I mean, you can.
I actually think that was top of his list.
Yeah. So those two there will unleash a lot of activity and a lot of changes in the game. Let's say that much. So I think that's going to be interesting. Yep.
Yeah, really. There's a lot of people waiting for that now. Oh, that's good. All right. So after that, then we've got raid spots. Right. I really like the fact that we're talking about these raid spots. Right. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong tab. I like that. From my point of view, obviously as a rogue player, I like the fact that I can team up with other rogue players, or maybe even members, certain members of certain families that might just want to come out and join the crew. I think because my son, for example, he plays a lot of a lot of Halo and stuff like that, and he plays with lots of just random people, and they form they form their own teams and off they go and they do the stuff. They become quite good buddies over it. I think really we will start to definitely see that. We'll start to see teams forming, and you never know. Well, I always like to think about, as these teams form and as they start to do these heists and start to be quite successful, the next natural progression will be to start a family together.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to.
We should see more of that, and there's the HQs people can get. So there's lots of cool stuff there.
Yeah,
it's like raid spots is going to be the wild card, right? It's going to shake things up a little bit potentially, depending on how it's done. But we see those spots on the maps and things. Yep.
Yeah, and I know Jacob has said this. It's going to be very lucrative, but very difficult to do these. I think that's going to be really cool. We already touched on the communication tab. Kill simulator. I think this is probably the next stage that I'm most excited about. I have to say. I mean, obviously, as we go through everything, the open for business is going to be great, but I think the kill simulator, knowing that it takes so many different criteria to kill someone.
This will change. This kill simulator will change a lot of tactics in the game. Once people get 100%. To this, so if they realize that they've not quite played the right tactics up to this point, like whatever they've got in their own inventory, they may make changes, right? And therefore that will have flow-on effects to the markets, both in the game and outside the game. So that's going to be pretty interesting. And the other thing is, we don't know when we're going to use hearts and bullets, right? The trading at the moment, people are doing all sorts of things with them in the game, but that's going to be interesting as well. And I think we're probably seeing a lot of deflation in in-game items, so it's going to be interesting to see where that plays out.
Yeah, I think exactly what you say about in-game items. I think we still haven't really found a price, right, for anything, because we just don't know yet, right? I mean, even the in-game cash right now is swings, massive swings up and down the last few days. But when it comes to the prices of all these items, a lot of people are going to be kicking themselves for sure. The things that they sold. We saw the massive rush with cars, right? We saw that there was a massive demand for cars, and all of a sudden there was no cars around anymore.
Yeah.
So we saw that with bullets and health. I mean, when the tokens come out of themselves, obviously that's going to be massive thing to see what the ratios are actually going to be set at. So when you want to bridge out your bullets,
it's going to be great having 3 tokens trading too. I think that's a good number. I wouldn't want any more than that. I think 3 is pretty good, but they're all key for the game. So it's going to be really fun.
Yeah, and again, right, to bring it back to bullet factories again, then. So when we actually do have these tokens live, those are the keys to the kingdom, right? So I think
I'm just looking at Zanon's comment there. I'm stealing my cars back, he says. Yeah.
So right, again, cars. So when the game goes live, what do you think? I'll take it back to crates for a bit, right? What do you think are going to be removed from the crates, so you won't be able to open crates and get these items anymore?
Yeah, well, let's go into the website and have a quick look at that, because we've got the DAP at the top there. Let's go have a look at the items at the moment, just so people are familiar that are not familiar with the game.
Furious.
Got a shed or two to store them in. Yeah, nice one. May not see them again. They'll probably get resold off, repackaged to some family in the suburbs.
Yes, anybody. So if you are new here, right, this is the website, right? So this is, we're going to be looking at B&B Mafia right now, because there is more land still available. That's the reason why I chose this. So as soon as you come here, if you are new and you don't know anything, click on this button here, get started. This is how you create a character.
Whoever joins now with a player will be player 1000. We've got 999 players.
Oh, look at that.
We player 1000. So if you join up today, number 1000, that's your kudos there.
Perfect. 22 crime families as well. So we've got an extra couple of crime families over here. Yeah. The vault 226. I like that. Vault's going up, right? So what, we've jumped 7 B&B in the last 3 or 4 days. I like that. And we can see there's still a hell of a lot of land tiles over this side. Because we saw on Pulse, right? The big families really just went all out, trying to get their territory as fast as possible, which we anticipated. We saw that it was going to be going that way.
Yeah. Nothing, no surprises. What's happened over on Pulse Chain. Yep.
Yeah. So opening a family, for anyone that doesn't know, literally click get started. You get to choose the character name, up to 14 characters. You get to choose a city where they're from, and you get to choose the sex of that character, right? Once you do that, it costs you 2,000 Mafia, which on B&B is around 60 cents, and on Pulse is around $2.50. I think, give or take, the price I was looking at a couple of days ago. And once you've done that, really, then you can start to rank up your character and have a look, right? One of the most important things, obviously, is your character is tied to a wallet. So you need to really treat your character like a crypto wallet, because that's what it is. You don't want to lose it. You don't want to get killed in game, because if you get killed in game, that wallet address gets blacklisted from the game. So you are out. If you want to continue playing, you'll have to start up another character and start ranking up again. All right. So Abdul is here. Fast Abdul is here. He said, I'm here for the tech. Well, I tell you what, if I'm being totally honest, the tech in this game is absolutely second to none, mate. So you picked the right protocol to come in and have a look at.
He does accept bribes, by the way. Yeah.
He does accept bribes. There's going to be a lot of that going on in this game too, I think.
He makes a good Mafia player, doesn't he? For that point of view.
He does. He fits the perfect profile.
He does.
Maybe he has a few character profiles in here already messing around. Yeah. So once you have your character, then people, you can literally jump over to the families. You can go and have a look. Like we were saying at the start, the Directorate are, well, the syndicate we can see here right now. Top family over on B&B. Currently not in, you're currently in vault suspension, but 52 members, part of the Directorate, right? So if we look at the conditional payouts, so really the Yakuza are on a conditional payout, and the rest of it really is.
I really wouldn't worry about these positions.
The OGs at the moment. You say that on a few of your streams, and you're very confident.
They're kind of meaningless at the moment, but you'll see in due course.
Again, I like that. Right,
hail the Don of Dons, Archie. That's all I can say.
Yeah. So.
Now, I want to talk about this list, actually, because you've done a lot of work over here. And so I wanted to actually talk about this quickly before we... So people, I think it's pretty easy to join up, and join a family as well. Just go knock on the door. But actually, just before we do that, if you want to join the syndicate, which is the Directorate, part of one of the families in the Directorate Allegiance, you can join from this page, down at the socials, down the bottom for Telegram. So I don't know, it's just taking a little bit to load up there, but you can scroll down to the bottom left there, and we've got socials, and you can join up to the Directorate today.
Who would not be eligible to join the Directorate?
Well, obviously, enemy families members were the obvious ones. Have you
found any of that? Any try to infiltrate the families?
Oh, we've knocked them all. We've knocked them all out. And we have maybe one that's in there, I think, that we're monitoring. So you're not safe in our family if you manage to slip through our checks and balances.
Yeah, all right. So if you want to join the Directorate, you can look in the banner down below, right? You can find it through. I know that Archie has been working on MafiaHQ.com for there's some new updates and stuff like that. So he's constantly updating that. go and have a look. Join the Directorate. They are really the family to be feared, as they like to say, right? And I think so far, since we really started this game, I mean, you positioned yourself really as, you know, do I want to say the word leader? I mean, I guess I just did, right?
we are the leaders, and we are the dominant family. We are, like I say, we are the only family at the moment, and it may change in the future, but we are the only family at the moment that can actually wage an effective war. So that makes us pretty terrifying, and we have a number of capabilities. That's all I'll say. That give us that substantiation for that claim. So, and I think people have already worked it out because they're contacting us for protection against us. So we're happy to make agreements and alliances. That's how the game works, and we're a family of honor. In fact, we have shown to be a family of honor where some other families have not been. So people can make up their own minds. They want to be knifed in the back. It's up to them who they make their agreements with. But at least with us, you're going to get respected. But of course, we are the most capable of wiping out certain players on the field, as it were. So all good in love and war, as it were.
Well, I think that's it, right? It's all fun. Well, I mean, it's all fun and games until someone loses an eye, right? And I think this game is really sort of designed for that,
Yeah.
So, your honest opinion, then. So, do you think there's going to be a lot more camaraderie between families in this game, or do you think there's going to be, like you say, all-out family war? Do you think anyone really wants that at this stage, or do you think if that might just be something that might happen because something happens later down the line?
That's probably the later there. The later is that it's something that can happen. We have always have everything on the table. We are preparing for every main sort of outcome. We make a lot of agreements, and people are finding that we keep our word. And I think that's being proved pretty popular. We keep a lot of those relationships on the quiet because that's part of the game. But things are heading very, very nicely. Everything we've seen so far, what we expected. So, like I say, the biggest wild card will be Jacob and the Godfather. So that's the stuff that can influence the game the most. Rebalancing or features that we didn't see coming because they're not, they're new. We're expecting a lot of innovation in the game, so that's something we'll just have to adapt to, just like everyone else. But yeah, it's we're open for business.
Nice. Do you want to share your map and you can walk us through Chicago?
Some of the maps. Yeah, let's do that. So let me plug up the maps here. So I'm on the Pulse chain side at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. No problem.
Do that.
So, which cities then do you currently control, or which cities have you set up shop in? I know that you've got Chicago on both chains.
I think you need to add, if you can add the I
have it here.
Yeah, cool. All right, so easily done. This is the map on Pulse chain for those that are new. So Pulse Mafia, it's called pulsemafia.io.
9 cities gone.
Yeah, so they're almost all gone, which is exciting. This is exactly what we want to see, right? And we can see at the moment, so the Yakuza is one of the families in the Directorate, which is our allegiance. As we said, there's 4 families in that. What this suggests is that what this shows is that the family that's dominant in that particular map with the most properties is number 1. So we've got the Yakuza at the top in New York, and we've got Gearheads at in Las Vegas. So all these tiles are sold out. Everything is in red. All the land has been bought up. Basically,
it's crazy. 9 cities gone.
You can then also see on the column here, it's got buildings. The amount of buildings in those on the map, and also the city developer, and that's a very key critical role, right? So it gives a lot of worth points and defensive abilities in the game. So it's cool to see that, right? So that's what we see some of the bigger landowners go for. Now there's pros and cons, right, to owning a lot of land. That we'll see how those strategies play out right in the game. Now we've got Napoli, the Yakuza, so it's the Directorate again, is dominating in that area. The Gearheads in Medellin, the Salamancas in the Borgata there, and we've got the Gearheads in Miami, the Yakuza in Chicago, And of course, we've got the Gearheads in Detroit there. That's more recent domination over there on the Detroit. We got the Mugnows in Palamo there. And then we've got the Gearheads making a move now on Caracas. And of course, we've got Moondog there, I think, who's in the chat. That's all his name. Yep.
Moondog is in the chat, yeah.
Moondog's actually a developer in 2. So he's doing a lot of land grabs. No surprises there. It's what we expected to see happen there from Moondog. And then Messina is still open as well. So there's still 171 tiles left in Caracas. There's still 471 in Messina. Well, I don't know why that's blank, but it appears to be blank at the moment. And we've got Visitor there. So maybe whoever's dominating that is not in a family or something. But we've got 471 tiles left there, 107 buildings on that one so far. So that's kind of an overall summary of where the land is. And fantastic, right? Fantastic. What's it been? How many days has it been since the map's out?
Yeah, literally.
10 days?
Yeah, maybe 10 days, yeah.
10 days. I mean, Jacob's got to be very happy with this outcome. And it's had, people are being pretty excited about it. Certainly opened up the first sort of element to actual playing the game. There is a pre-play, which we've already done. But this is really exciting to see all this, take over. So there's pros and cons to people's different tactics here. And we're going to see how that plays out. But let's have a quick look at New York. That was sort of the first one that the Directorate took over. And since this is a show about the Directorate, we might as well talk about it. And so here is the Directorate, and you can see lots of land. And let's just highlight a few of the zones. So we've got common zones. This is kind of like your middle class area in the suburbs and the burbs. And look, there's the house there. That is where Home Alone was filmed over there. Was it New York? He went to New York, didn't he?
Yeah, the second one, yeah.
And then what else we got? We got the next area is the upper areas. So that's this beautiful green, lush land. Beautiful green.
Yeah, it's Upper Manhattan.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Little rivers and everything. We've got nice bridges and that. Good parks. I mean, it's pretty nice. And then finally, of course, we've got the elite area. This is where all the elder de creme is in the house there. And just a quick note, we've got the Don of Dons, Archie de Capone, living in a big, beautiful, highly defensive hotel here on the waterfront. And of course, you can't see it on the ocean there, but there is a deal being done with the US Navy to protect the Don of Dons. So if anyone's thinking, it's not in view here, but there is an aircraft carrier fleet, one of the 11 fleets of the US that is protecting our Don, the Don of Dons, Archie de Capone, which is pretty cool. And as you can see, there's lots of beautiful other hotels sitting on the front there. It is a lovely place to go and visit if you want to. So prices are pretty expensive, but I'm sure if you do well in the game, you'll be able to stay there as well. So that's kind of the rollout of the map there at the moment. And as you can see, there's a lot of development going on in the old New York, the city of dreams. As you guys know, in real life, New York is well developed, and it looks like the case here in New York is being well developed as well. All right, that is New York. Let's quickly go to the other big city, Napoli. Right, so anybody can jump on these maps and have a look at these, of course. Let's have a quick look at Napoli, another city of the Directorate. And of course, beautiful location. Look at this location. Isn't that beautiful?
So I think all these maps are great. The city layout is fantastic.
Yeah, so we've got a lovely area here. I mean, this is so exclusive. This is the elite area, of course. If we jump on the elites, we can see that it's a gorgeous area. And it's only early development on this area at the moment. But it is looking pretty good, isn't it? Pretty good over here. You got to like that. So the elite area, let's have a look. That is the elite area. The upper area at the moment is also relatively underdeveloped. So that's going to probably be developed in due course. Obviously, people are waiting for the staking, unstaking, things like that. We'll see probably quite a shift in different areas of development. So that is Napoli. But of course, we've also got another city here, which is Chicago. So we've got New York, Napoli, and Chicago, some beautiful cities, absolutely beautiful cities. Obviously, some of the most famous cities in the world. And the Directorate there likes to be famous. So that's a good place for us. So this is Chicago. And Chicago at the moment, you can see a very different looking map, a very large land area. So let's have a quick look at the commons. That is the commons area at the moment. So that is looking pretty good. We've got a few hotels in there, and there's lots of HQs in here as well. Apartment blocks, there's a few of those. We got the upper area. This is slowly starting to build out there. Beautiful area there. Of course, the nice river there as well. And then we've got obviously the elite area as well in Chicago, which is starting to build out also. So lots of cool things happening over there. So that's kind of the three maps of the Directorate. And we've obviously got land in other maps as well. But that's kind of the three main cities of the Directorate. So if you like those cities, you want to join the family, get in there as well.
Nice.
So, yeah.
No, they look great. I mean, I really like the look of these maps. I like the fact that you can zoom down to where it is to so far. I think when, like you were saying earlier, when it's open for business and we, there's more graphics coming around, how will that interact with the map then? Will we actually be able to zoom down to actually standing outside your store, and then enter a store and have a look at menu items or whatever it is on there? I think that would actually be really cool.
That's obviously there's a lot of people developing at the moment. So if we go to the Git book here quickly, we can see that if you go to down to buildings, you can see the buildings that you can upgrade from. So no, we talked about the land. So people getting land in those three different areas. Common, upper, strategic. There's also strategic next to HQs, of course. So we got that, and of course elite. So those are the four areas that people are definitely trading. Obviously elite are more desirable, are rarer than the commons, for example. But once you get land, you can upgrade it. So we've got sheds, costs $250,000 to upgrade to a shed. And that's going to take 24 hours until that's finished developing, and you require 10,000 Mafia to stake. So you said that Jacob loves staking. Well, you're going to need to stake a lot of Mafia in this game. It's going to make Mafia, arguably, as the game grows towards launch day, that Mafia will get more and more staked as development grows. So we're still in the very early phases of development across all the maps. So yeah, we've got houses next, $1 million in-game. There's in-game currency, which is tradable at the moment for Mafia as well. And then we've got 24 hours delay for that development. And then you're going to need 25,000 to activate that. So that's very important. Our office buildings, villas are 2.5 million. And of course, that's 48 hours delay. So you start to move into longer delay. So what that means is it's going to take 2 days before it finishes developing. And to activate that, you'll need 50,000. And of course, activation is very important there. The one thing I was going to say, as you go up through the developments, you get more defense powers. So that's going to play very well for people in the game. And particularly if you're in one of these buildings, let's say you get attacked or something, certainly going to help you to have a higher defense value, right? Dramatically so. And that will come back to that kill simulator. We may see some of those metrics in there for that. Office building, this is when you start to turn. This is when you sort of start getting into earning a little bit of in-game currency. So all these ones here, shed, house, and villa, you don't really earn anything from that. It is all about defensive power. And of course, you do get a worth impact there as well for the development for your player and the family. The office building, though, it's going to cost you 1 key. Now, that's a trick that a lot of people forget. You're going to need 1 key, not just the 5 million in-game currency to upgrade from a villa to an office. You will need a key as well. So if you get an error in your wallets because you don't have the key, don't have a key in there, you need both. So that's a little trick for some people. Your defense will get up to 25. That's going to take you 2 days, also, before you can do another upgrade. It's going to cost you 100,000 Mafia. And this is when it gets serious. This is when the game gets serious. We're talking about 100,000 Mafia to get into an office building, to stake that to make it active. So we're getting some serious Mafia now. As the price of Mafia goes up, this becomes even more serious, right? The amount of dollars that goes up. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see those tokenomics. Then, of course, apartment block. Now, I love the apartment blocks. They're kind of my favorite, apart from a hotel, because I love the high-rise element of it. This looks so good. And we might quickly check out some of those in a minute. But your defense value is 34. Takes 2 days to do that, and you need 125,000 Mafia to do. At the moment, of course, then upgrading to a mansion. So there's all different types of mansions. So you got different buildings depending on whether you're in the common area, whether you're in the upper area or elite area. So you got different actual 3D objects. They all look different visually from each other. And there's some nice variety there. 10 million in-game currency to do that. And of course, you get a 68 defense there. 3 days. Now you're moving to 3 days for diamond. So this slows things down, doesn't it, KlvtDefi? A little bit, because you might see, oh, what's happening with the map? Maybe map slowed down. Well, it's probably because people are maturing into 3-day upgrades, right? So it's kind of thing. And of course, people, if they're going to activate it, they need a lot more Mafia to do that. And then finally, we've got large hotels, 12.5 million in-game currency. And of course, that gives you 100 defensive points. So it's a big jump on the defensive points there. And of course, then 72 hours delay, 3 days for that. And then this is where we were getting serious with the Mafia. Remember, there's only 1 billion Mafia. A lot of it is already staked on Pulse Chain. It's like 45%, something like that, if I remember rightly, somewhere in there. And this is 500,000 for this. There's a lot of hotels. People are trying to chase down hotels, but 500,000 Mafia has to be staked to make you active. So some pretty interesting things. That then goes, so that's the cost side of things. That's the time development. That's your defensive gain. So you got a bit of your reward there. It's the defensive game, playing the game. But the other side, of course, is city inflation, right? So what do they earn? So only the office building, apartment block, mansion, and large hotel earn something. Now, it's more of a bit of a gift as opposed to a passive income, but it is a passive income over time. But it's really more about the defensive upgrade, right? Playing the game of those buildings. But you do earn a bit there. So you get office buildings get 25,000 in-game currency a day. Apartment blocks get 50,000. Mansions get 75, and hotels, of course, 200,000 in-game currency. So you can annualize that out, multiply it by the current price in the marketplace at the moment. And of course, we can see that on the exchange. You can go to withdraw here on the exchange, and you can see the market price. And at the moment, we've got, it's kind of on the high side at the moment, meaning that in-game currency is dropped in value in terms of the ratio. Obviously, the price in US dollars depends on the price of Mafia as well, because you are selling in-game currency for Mafia. Conversely, if you're buying in-game currency, then you're swapping any of these things, right? Pulse, any of these popular tokens on Pulse Chain, you can then go and buy in-game cash. Once you do that, of course, let's see what $100 of Pulse will buy at the moment. It's going to get you 5.6 million in-game cash. So that will help you do some of those upgrades we talked about, right? So if you're needing to do some upgrades, the cost was here. So for $5 million, you could do maybe
your office building,
maybe an office building, yeah. But you will also need to get a key, right? Then you can go to keys, and you can hit up a key there, $20 for a key. Obviously, the more you do, once you reach to $400, you're getting a 5% bonus. Obviously, the higher you go, you start getting access to more bonuses, etc., and so on. So yeah, it goes up and up there. So 5,000, I think, dollars of keys will get you 20% extra bonus there. So that's pretty important for the build. And of course, everyone is coming to the maps and building. So let's pick up a map here. Let's pick out the Mugnows reloaded here. Have a look at them. And see what they are building, and we can see some of these buildings in action. But we've got the Gearheads got a large hotel here, so they've got that activated. So that's activated. They've got 73,000 in-game currency. They'll be able to claim that after 24 hours. They have to claim it within 7 days, and it will be every 24 hours. The yield will accumulate in this claim yield button down here. It will go yellow. Well, it'll be yellow if this was your actual player. So we've got some stuff like that, but we got a good filter. So we can go through and see how many sheds are. Those are sheds. So we know the sheds cost 250,000. We've got the houses. Though we know those cost $1 million to upgrade to those houses there. So there's a few here on the map. We've got villas. Villas was 2.5 million to upgrade to these. So we've got quite a few villas around. And then of course, then the big upgrade goes to an office, and you'll need a key. So they've got far less offices on here at the moment. Because as we said, they're going to need a key and 5 million to upgrade to that. But then we go above that to apartment, and I love these apartments because they're so high, and they do look different every map you go on. They look a bit different. So that's the map, and that's what it looks like in the commons area. I'm not sure, do they have one in the upper area? No, they don't have any in this area here. So Mugnow's got a bit of work to do there in the old Mugnows. And then we've got the next one is mansion. So there are some mansions. So at least they're building out some. They like their luxury, obviously. Mansions there. So it's a Bella and Nella. Big shout out there. Mugnows Reloaded got a mansion, and of course we know the mansions there. 10 million in-game currency to make, right? So that's in addition to all the stuff you've already paid for. So there is an accumulated value in these objects, in these buildings. And that's what we've got there. And then finally, we've got the big hotel, right? Everyone's after the hotels, but it is a big economic commitment to that. But they give you strong defensive value, right? 100 defensive value. And of course, we can see that one there from the gearheads. We've got another one here from the mug now. So this is Bellinella again with this hotel. Pretty exciting. But let's go to another map because I quickly want to show some of the differences in there just before I wrap up talking about these maps. Let's go to Detroit here and have a look at the gearheads one. Good old Detroit. Now I know there's a lot of Allegiance Directorate, properties in here as well. But let's have a look at the elite area. See if we've got one here. So that is an apartment block. So we can see, or show, my zoom's a little bit sensitive. We've got an apartment block here in the elite area. So these are, arguably more valuable in the elite area because it's far harder to get an elite area out of here. Let's have a look here. So we've got apartment block here in the commons. So that looks pretty similar to the other one that we had. And the upper here, what have we got? One on the upper? Yeah, apartment block over here. Sorry, I got the zooms a little bit sensitive on my mouse. There's an apartment block there. So you get, obviously, depending on the area that you're in, whether it's commons, elite, or upper, you'll have a different looking building for an apartment building, which creates a lot of variety. I really like that a lot. We can also see some of these raid spots on the map as well. And that's where Carnage is going to come from into this. Pretty funny. All right, so hopefully that was. I know a lot of people like to go, get confused a little bit about development. So I just want to go through that. Hopefully that was helpful.
That was great. That was really great. I really liked the fact. I mean, all those tiles are gone. Look, you can just see all that land is gone, guys. There's only 2 cities left on Pulse Mafia that have available space. If you want to start getting your tiles, you better start getting them early because we can see Caracas is already nearly bought up. Only 171 to go, right? Yeah, and then it's over to B&B. I know that on B&B, I'm going to be speaking with Richie, the Don of the Black Thistles, in a few days because they are snapping up Bogota, right? They're literally doing they're doing that. They're trying to get their vault access. Where are you guys in terms of your vault access at the moment? So are you vault suspension or for everywhere or just
on both maps at the moment? But it's really not relevant at the moment.
Yeah, I agree.
You'll barely find that out in the future. It's we're really. I think the thing is the map at the moment is kind of everyone's focused on that, and I think that's the right thing for everyone to be focused on. We'll see some adjustments in due course. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. Now moving to B&B, we got the original Gangsters in Las Vegas, so they're actually doing really well over there. So they've got 168 tiles left in their city, and that's Bob there as well. We talked about Bob earlier, I think. Chicago there, we got obviously the Directorate is sitting there in Chicago. All the tiles sold out there, and they sold out very quickly, right? So obviously,
I saw that. That was a great job.
We're obviously after Chicago, and we took Chicago, right, very quickly. If we want to take something, we're going to do it, right? So if we haven't taken something, there's a reason for it. All right, just letting you know that. That's the area there. So we've got Madeline, we've got the OG Escobars there. The Brigada's got the Black Thistles. Now you've done a lot of work with the influencers on B&B Mafia. Do you know anything around any of these sort of activities with these particular maps that these
so Richie right now, he's Crypto Mischief, Richie Mischief there, the Don of the Black Thistles. They're on a mission right now to get Bogota, right? They're opening up a hell of a lot of land tiles. They're on their way. Without giving too much away, obviously, but it's not really it's not really private.
They've told you secret stuff, don't have to
no, it's not really secret stuff, but they're doing very well in Bogota right now. They're hammering down and really, I think one thing which we are starting to see and which we're going to see further, more and more is which we've already seen on Pulse. When land starts to get a bit scarce, everybody has this, everybody just gets this bit of FOMO that comes around. And I don't think we've seen it so far on B&B yet, but it's coming, guys. So again, if you're watching, if you have a character over on B&B, grab yourself some keys and grab yourself some land, because there's no telling really how fast this is going to sell out. And it's always good to have some, just in case you can use it as a bargaining chip later on.
Yeah.
Right. That's one way to really have to look at this. People are saying, I've spoken to a lot of people who are rogue players, and they're saying, no, I'm not interested in Neverland. I don't really care. But they're bargaining chips.
I'm very excited about the Black Thistles. Keep up the great work over there. We like it when other families, buying land, building, doing their thing. We love it. It's all part of the game. So very exciting to see that. Now we've got Messinas in Messina. Not surprising there. And we got the Mugnaus in Napoli there. We got the Syndicate, which is part of the Directorate, of course, is in New York. We've got the Untouchables in Palermo there. We've got the Original Gangsters in Miami, and the OG Sopranos in Caracas, and the Warriors in Detroit there. Anything else you want to say about any of these other families?
Yes, actually, we could talk about the Warriors, right? The Warriors is Crypto Cuban, right, Mike? And I have a bit of news. I'm going to be streaming. Well, just waiting for confirmation. It should be next week. I'm going to be streaming with a brand new YouTuber that hasn't been around in Pulse Mafia yet, but they are a member of the Warriors family. So awesome. We're going to have another content creator around who will be pushing things over on B&B. It's fantastic news.
Now you've done what? Probably you've interviewed maybe a dozen now influencers on B&B, something like that.
Yeah. There's a lot. Yeah, a lot. And now that Map,
sorry, you go. The
I was just going to say, and now that Map is out, everyone's starting to make moves. I like it.
Yeah. So I can see that they've just started on this map here. So there's very early days, but we're excited to see them develop this. Excited to see what they do here. Very excited to see that in Detroit. If people think that we're worried about people developing, no, we want people developing. We want people to play the game. We want the excitement, and we're looking forward to it. Great to see more. So out of we've got a couple of influencers, would you say, on B&B that are pretty active now?
Three, and it's picking up. It's picking up. They're starting to get a bit faster now.
Yeah, and some of the others that you talk to may start to get on board as they see the activity grow, which it certainly is. So.
Absolutely. There's more people coming around all the time. I mean, I'm having, there's literally a lot of the people were really waiting to see what was going to happen with Map, because they were saying, show us what this game looks like. And then the back start to make their plans, and it started to happen now. So literally, I was on with Brandon the other day, right? On the Pulse side, yeah. But I was on with Brandon the other day. He's already mooching around in the telegrams, asking all the right questions.
He's a big influencer, so that's cool. Now, if you are new to Mafia and maybe you got a smaller budget, right? Then B&B is ideal. B&B is ideal to come to. The price of B&B is maybe 4 to 5 times cheaper than Pulse Chain price. You can get into get land. Land's pretty much the same, right? You got to get a key. It's $20. Yeah, and but you can. There's so much land here available. You could get a really good deal. And remember, some of the land that you get sometimes will have a development on it. You potentially could even get a hotel. Especially with all these ones in green. So if you're new to Mafia, B&B is definitely a good option. Obviously, Pulse Chain is doing well, but definitely get on a B&B as well. We have bigger plans for in all of the games. Obviously, we're on both maps. It's exciting. Looking forward to the more influences through their KlvtDefi. I think that's a very exciting part.
I'm actually going to be on in a couple of days with I'm Shill Gates. I'm Shill Gates is, just come around to Pulse Chain. Big influencer over on Solana. Made the move over to Pulse Chain thanks to Hexologist. And he, talking about not just specifically Mafia. We're going to be talking about Pulse Pot also, right? Because it's really... the conversation is going to be more centered around pulse chain and what's good for pulse chain. What does pulse chain need? You know, what are the real potential for pulse chain? And you know, when we have literally a development team like Jacob and team who are building pretty much world first, right? They're doing world first technology. You know, thinking out of the box, thinking about, for example, Mafia, massive amount of transactions on chain. You know, this is exactly what the chain needs, right? To keep a healthy chain, you need lots of transactions. To keep a healthy chain, you need lots of new people. That's why bringing this across to other blockchains and getting more eyes on Pulse Chain, ultimately because of that, is you know, it's the one-stop shop. I cannot be more impressed with this game than it currently is, and we've had it in such a short amount of time. Realistically, if you think about it, it's only been a few months.
Yeah,
and look how far we've come.
Hey, look, we've been talking about the map a lot, but the exchange is also pretty active. As we say, you can buy in-game currency with the deposit button. You can sell in-game currency for Mafia with the withdrawal button. You see the price is going up and down. You can see the ratio is changing around. The ratio is way higher on BNB. Interesting enough, it's an oddity, but there's certain scarcities happening on BNB versus the level economic activity compared to Pulse Chain at the moment, at least. So you're actually getting in on a really interesting time for BNB. And of course, there's the secondary market. We talked about the primary market is going to the map and visiting and opening up crates. And you do that by getting a key. So this is what you do to open up crates. You get yourself a key. So go exchange, go to keys. You can buy keys with any of these currencies, BNB, USD Tether, USDC, Mafia there, and you'll get keys. Once you got the keys, you can jump over to the map. This is the primary way of getting land at the moment until they're all sold out. You can jump into a map here. Let's just pick something like, let's pick Napoli, for example. And once you've got those keys, they'll be in your wallet. And then you can click land claim, right? So you've got the keys, you've selected your city, and then you can click land claim, and that will open up a box. Now, if you have a crate in it, it will allow you to open up a land. If you don't, then it's going to ask you to go and buy one. So that's how easy it is. And once you do open that up, it's going to open up a couple of notifications for you to approve on BNB, and then the map will get animated. Now, I think you were going to do an animation, KlvtDefi. Were you going to do one of those, or?
It is. I think we're, to be honest, we're running out of time a little bit here.
Yes. What happens is the map will animate around the 3 different areas: the elite, the upper, and the commons. And then eventually it will pick one of those, and it will select a location. Locations are not all equal. Some have a lot of connectors. Some don't have a lot of connectors. It's an important element that you should get used to. And then, of course, you may also get a bare piece of land, or you may get a land that has a hotel on it if you're lucky. I mean, that'd be probably one a map. Very lucky to get one of those. You could get an office or a house or something if you're lucky, which will save you on development costs. So good luck if that is you. So that's kind of the way that works on the exchange. And of course, there's lots of different elements. So you can buy in-game cash, you can sell in-game cash, you can convert in-game items for in-game cash. If you've managed to open in-game items by using crates here, which you can try and get some in-game items. Those are also using keys at $20 each. You can then also do that. And of course, there's an OTC desk, which means that you can swap assets directly. Sometimes you can do it, maybe make a deal with somebody. You can put up one there just so they're the only ones that could actually accept the deal, or you can make it more generic, trying to get some, this person's selling all these things here, trying to get a couple of keys. And of course, then there's the secondary market, which is the market. So we talked about this, and you can actually buy and sell land here on the secondary market once you've opened it up on the map there with the primary market, and you could resell it here, and you may or may not get someone to buy it. And that's kind of the play.
What was that? An office building in Las Vegas. Somebody wants 50 million in-game cash.
Yeah. So, it's a market, and people decide what's valuable. Sometimes people will overbuy. Sometimes people will underpay. We've seen some interesting deals go on. And then, of course, the vault is getting pretty big and juicy too. 226 BNB, 165K. And look at that rise, the activity of the marketplace and the map really driving as well. And of course, that's feeding the marketing DAO, right? Kind of cool. And then, of course, that's it. So I think that's it from me. We're now in 15 minutes. So hopefully people have picked up a few insights about the Directorate and the Mafia.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Guys, really, look, go and do your homework. Read the wiki. Go and look at some of our past videos on this channel. Go and look at some of the past videos on Superman's channel, Hex Token. Reach out to the guys in the telegrams, right? This is what we're constantly asking. Go and have a look and open a conversation. You never know where it's going to go. You might find the right family for you, or the right family might come and find you. It's literally, that's how it works, right? That's how it works. After this, I will just let you know, there's, I think it started already, but I don't know what your thoughts are on the Hex conference. I think it started now. Matty Allen's thing. I know some people are boycotting it this year, Superman.
Yeah, actually, no reason to boycott it. And I understand people's protests, but ultimately it's about Pulse Chain and the Hex promotion. So that's where I stand on the neutral. And
same.
If people want to protest it, it's up to them. I understand the issue that they're talking about, and I just it is what it is. We're in crypto. We see it all the time. So yeah, people make up their own minds, right?
That's it. Exactly right. Do your own research. Isn't that what we say? Do your own research. Follow what you want. Don't let anyone sway your opinion.
But at the moment, hey, look, the most exciting thing on Pulse Chain is Pulse Mafia. It is absolutely ramping up. Really is. I mean, you can, this is the where the action is at. This is where the community is really growing and evolving. It surprised me how good it's getting, the intergame relationships. And of course, we have, it's a Mafia game, so we have our enemies and our friends. Or frenemies, frenemies. But excited about where Jacob's going to take this game. And a big shout out to KlvtDefi. I really do appreciate all your work in terms of promoting and growing the game. It really is making a big deal. So
thanks very much, brother. That's appreciated. I wake up every morning and I watch your stuff. Right, that's one of my morning coffee. Every single day. I love catching up on the news, and you're absolutely on fire with it. Now, I think when Mafia starts to come around, people start to play it a bit more, then keep your eyes peeled and ears open for the next Jacob protocols. Right, we still have PUSD ALGO.
Yes,
that's still
come on.
That's it, right? That's the one.
I think that can be really big. And it's exciting. So let's go.
Yeah, so we got some really good things happening, right? So guys, thanks very much. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all of that good stuff. Make sure you follow Superman. Make sure you jump down there into the telegrams. Ask the right questions, and the right families will find you. Okay, and it sounds like the Directorate are the ones, right? All right, so thanks very much, guys. I will catch you all on the next one.
See you guys.
Giffordware, it's an honor.
Got an anonymous tip, boss.
This is it. We stage the heist tonight.
And keep an eye on Kool-Aid. He's been known to water the plants.
Let's keep the plants out of this and focus on the job.
All right, Johnny, I'm sorry. Keep the change, you filthy animal.